Right, so now we're going to add, would you mind videoing me? So now we're going to add the SC1 solution into the bucket. So the finest granule mild acid solution. Okay. What we're also going to do is we're going to make sure that your suction hose is full of water, because we don't want the pump to suck air when we start the process. So we're going to make sure that this whole suction hose is full of water to this point. Right. So now we've eliminated the air from the system, which could damage the pump head. We now take both of those hoses below the surface, and it's always a good idea to cable tie these hoses so that you don't have to physically hold them. So we can cable tie them like that. Okay. Right, so that's your solution. We'll mix it in just now with the rotation of the water pump. So we've opened up this. We'll make sure that that's open. 1, 3. Make it 1.5 turns, and we're going to activate the system by turning on the pump, which we're going to do with this micro switch. So now you see the pump's running. You'll hear the water maker making its normal noise, but it won't build any pressure because we've opened up the decompression valve. So you don't use your 2-button control panel for this process. You only use the micro switches inside the computer box or pump box. What you can see happening here is we've got a little bit of air returning through the discharge return hose, so the pickling return hose, and we've got the suction hose now replacing what would normally be the seawater in the normal process, and we've got that now sucking the solution from the bucket through the pump head, through the water maker module, through the membranes, and then pushing it back into the brine discharge, which is now not going overboard because this valve is open and it's returning it back to the return hose in the bucket. What's always good is before you do this process, if you've been using the water maker, always replace the 5-micron filter element, because if you don't, you're going to pump all the salt water and all the debris into your pickling solution, which is then going to circulate it through the water maker. So if you haven't used the water maker a lot, then fine, but if you've used it a couple of hours, 10-20 hours, then I would just replace that element in any case before you pickle. So here we have the solution pickling through. We're going to leave this process run for 20 minutes, and if you are doing this as a maintenance routine and you're not going to be leaving the boat, please leave the solution in the membrane inside the water maker module and membranes for at least 48 hours so that the mild acid can do its work.